going on, guys? Today I got some pretty cool slop for you. Yesterday I was able to have a talk with Casey Edwards. You guys probably know him already. He's the composer of Devil Trigger and Bury the Light for Devil May Cry 5, some of the most popular video game songs ever. And he reached out to me yesterday because he wanted to shed some light on a lot of the situations that have happened with his music, especially Bury the Light, and kind of explain some things like why the 150 million video got deleted, what all the crazy stuff on Spotify was about with his songs getting deleted and replaced by weird AI covers. And it was super fun, and I can't wait to show you guys the conversation. But there's only one problem. I am dumb. I recorded our conversation using a program called OBS, and I usually use that program to record when I play video games. And I like to have the game much quieter than I am when I'm speaking. And I forgot to change these settings when we had our conversation. So throughout the whole video, Casey is way quieter than I am, and it's basically unlistenable. On top of that, you can hear my baby brother crying in the background. It's just a complete mess, but I've tried my best. I've spent hours trying to salvage this. So what I'm going to do instead is, for the parts that I was speaking, I'm going to give you guys a basically summary of what I said and then show the clip of him explaining and answering my question. It's the best I can really do to salvage this because I completely forgot to change my OBS settings. There's parts you can hear a baby crying in the background. There's a bit of lag too. It's just awful. It's terrible, but I've tried my best to clean it up and make it listenable. I'm so sorry. Please enjoy the video. After we got acquainted, I asked Casey about the elephant in the room. What happened to the 150 million view video? But instead, he thought it would be better to just give me a timeline of the whole events of him making the music for DMC5.
This kind of all started back at the E3 reveal back in 2018 when Devil Trigger was first used as the background song for that reveal. I was really excited and nervous for everybody to hear it. I remember I asked for permission to upload the song to YouTube because obviously people are going to go hunting for it, right? And I also asked for permission to upload the lyrics so that people would know what the lyrics are, and I was denied. As a matter of fact, though, it went even a bit further. I did the thing that most composers do, you know, whenever they write on a video game or something, is that you put up PR for yourself on your website. Like, this is some of the music that I wrote, here's some album art, so you know which game I'm talking about. And I was even asked to remove both of those things. But I found it a little bit odd because also everybody promotes their work on their website, so for the sole purpose of finding future work, right? You know, because of that happening, a lot of Devil Trigger videos got released. A lot of people did covers. I was, you know, super happy to see people were into it. You know, it's still, to me, something that I'm really happy about, and I'm really happy with how much momentum fans have given my music in this franchise. It's actually way beyond anything I could have ever expected. You guys are an incredible community. One of the problems that happened with everybody rushing to be the first to upload is that incorrect lyrics got put out, and I wasn't allowed to correct them. There's covers out there by big YouTubers who are using, you know, wrong lyrics. There was even a fully sanctioned and licensed Capcom concert, I think, that happened out in Pennsylvania or something. I didn't even know it was happening until I saw the uploads of it online, and they're also singing the wrong lyrics.
Wow.
It took like over a year, and this is all public on Twitter. I'm sure people could find it, of me like tagging Google and asking people to fix it on Genius, and like I had to like literally over a year to fix those and finally get everything right. And I remember during that time we were doing a lot of really fun PR. And by the way, me going back to Devil Trigger hopefully will be relevant here in a second. You guys will understand how this all connects. If anybody remembers, around that time I was getting to do some fun interviews and some PR and all this other stuff that Capcom paid for, and part of that was some random YouTuber had a Devil Trigger upload, and it was like, I think had surpassed 30 million views.
Jeez, that fast?
Yeah, we were talking about it at the interviews, right? I was like, I don't know what to say about this. This is incredible. Never really expected even a million. To me, that's just already an insane number. There were other uploads, but this is the one that had the most. Kind of like how the situation even was just a few months ago. You know, there's always like the one video that has the majority of the views, and then a couple other millions are scattered around. For some reason, out of nowhere, Capcom deleted, and all of a sudden all of that PR momentum that we had was just erased. I got in touch with the guy who uploaded it. I got in touch with my agent, I got in touch with Capcom, and I was trying to get them to let him get it back up, but it was too late because through the YouTube process or something, it had already like deleted his channel. Like, not just deleted the video, but deleted his channel. That was sort of the first groundwork into, now we're fast forwarding to Bury the Light, right? So now we're in 2020.
After this, Casey went on to explain that because of this situation with the Devil Trigger song, he wanted to be able to have permission to upload Bury the Light on his own YouTube channel to avoid any problems, but Capcom said he wasn't allowed to.
I'm asking for permission to upload Bury the Light so that we can avoid what happened in the past. Let's have, you know, a solid foundation for PR and not have any wrong lyrics out floating around and all this other stuff. Unfortunately, again, I was denied. You know, why didn't Casey care about this 6 years ago? You know, I did. I just don't post about my personal drama this was something for me to fight, not for you guys to worry about, or anybody else for that matter, you know? So I wasn't able to do that. And then exactly what I said happened would happen, which is now 100 different people have uploaded the song. Thankfully, this time, I knew to get a little bit ahead of it. And via Twitter, some very bright people were able to follow the cookie crumbs that I started to spread in order to figure out and decipher the correct lyrics. I think as fast as within 24 hours of the song being uploaded, I realized the passion that a few of them had, and they started to really follow what was happening without me having to say anything. And they got everything uploaded quickly for me.
After this, I had asked Casey what happened with Bury the Light and Devil Trigger getting deleted on Spotify and replaced with these weird AI covers.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, what's going on here? I send my emails out to figure out what's going on, and it feels like forever at this point to get any sort of answers. So after about 40 to 50 emails, working my way up the ranks, Capcom's head of the music label, again, this has nothing to do with Capcom, the video game developers, Capcom, the audio department, these are all separate people. This is their video game music legal department. Devil Trigger got released as a single in 2018 at the E3 reveal. And then Bury the Light got released as a single during the 2020, I think it was the PlayStation reveal. And then between those two events, Capcom released the game Devil May Cry 5 in 2019. And the mistake that they made is that they included Devil Trigger again on the album. Anybody that understands anything about music uploads and music rights knows that's a big no-no. What I think happened is someone recognized that finally 5 years, 6 years, 7 years later, however many years it was, and was like, oh, we got to fix that. So we got to delete that. And unfortunately, they deleted the single of Devil Trigger, which had almost 70 million plays.
Jesus.
Left up the album version, which nobody was listening to. That wasn't really saved on anyone's playlist. And then unfortunately, they also deleted Bury the Light, thinking that there was also a second upload, but there wasn't. Through their emails, I discovered that was in fact an error on their part. That is my theory. I can't guarantee that for 100%, but it sounds right to me. It sounds pretty sound. Again, through many emails, I was able to get Bury the Light uploaded again. Thankfully, it took on its past statistics. So we have 120 whatever plus million on there, but Devil Trigger is forever lost. And we're just stuck with the album version. So at least both uploads are finally up again.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about this because it was important, because during that time they were both down. This is when all of the weird third-party AI stuff.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when these things started to take over. And I, again, through these 40 to 50 emails or however many it was, my blood was pretty boiling at this point, because what I was reading into was a lack of care, a lack of interest in fixing the issue. And as a matter of fact, to this day, they still haven't added Ali back to Devil Trigger or Victor back to Spotify artist tags. And I told them,
Wow.
thank you for adding me back, but these artists deserve their credit, and they're still not publicly getting it. So there's nothing I can do about that either. But again, going back to during the part where they were just gone, that's when a lot of third parties stepped in and tried to take advantage of the situation. And I tried to fight that a little bit, and I knew that one of the first steps I had to take to seriously fight it was to upload my own versions to YouTube and just forget everything that had happened in the past. That's when my uploads happened. You'll see Devil Trigger and Bury the Light were uploaded pretty quickly to each other back to back, and literally upon submitting them to YouTube, I was immediately hit with a copyright strike on my own song.
When Casey went to upload the official versions of his songs onto his YouTube channel, they got copyright strikes almost immediately, which is pretty insane since he's the person who made the song. So who could have copyright striked it? Capcom?
It wasn't. It was these companies like Nextone and these other random third-party distributors.
Him bringing up that it was random third-party distributors and companies that copy strike the videos of his music made me remember times when other people would reach out to me for help with their own videos because they used Devil Trigger or Bury the Light in their YouTube video and it got copyright claimed by some random company.
The thing is video game music, in my opinion, should not be added to the content ID structure and network. But to a certain extent, people need to do Let's Plays and things like that in order to make their content. And I think that's 100% within fair use, and people are trying to take advantage of fair use. Uploaded my own tracks again to start this process. I was easily able to dispute these with YouTube by showing them, my copyright ownership versions of these things. Started on that journey, had to fight a few people, and that's when I realized that if I don't start taking down the non-fair use versions, meaning people who upload the song in full without any additive changes to the audio. So if I close my eyes and it's the song from start to finish, that's not fair use. I made a big long Twitter post about how I'm really sorry I have to do this. I really sucks to just see 300 million views wiped from the face of the internet. Again, leading up into the last summer of dealing with all these emails, my blood was already boiling. I was ready to just take out all of these third-party distributors, get them wiped from the face of YouTube with regards to my music. And I knew that the process had to start with everybody else's uploads that didn't, have fair use. And I even said, if you are using this within like memes, fair use, covers, critiques, all these things, that is fair use. If anybody has claimed your videos, please reach out to me privately and we'll try to handle this as quickly as possible. So I also tried to leave the avenue open for people I did not want to touch their upload.
You literally take the MP3 and upload it with no changes. Like, that's just not fair use. Like, that's totally understandable.
Yeah. Again, I didn't really want to even get involved in that, but the third party people, I knew at a point when we're reaching, an upwards of 300 million views cumulative across just 2 songs, somebody's making some serious money on that shouldn't be touching it. I did what I had to do. I started the copyright strikes. Fortunately, Shadowhunter had a public email address. Nobody else did, but he did. I reached out to him. I was like, look, man, I don't want to copyright strike anyone's videos if I can avoid it. If you wouldn't mind just removing AdSense, private the video so it doesn't mess up your YouTube stats. Thankfully, he was able to do that, just private it and everything. But that's when we had an exchange that I was not happy with, which is I learned that he, in fact, had monetized it and nobody else had claimed it. I was under the impression that like Nextone or these other companies had been raking in his money and he was just happy to leave the video up. I was like, hold on, I asked for some clarification. I don't want to get into all the specifics. Really, I didn't express this text to him, but I was really heated when I found out that someone had made, and I mean this with as much emphasis as possible, a significant amount more money than me on something that I put my heart into, all my hard work. I've made this comment before. My initial goal into the foyer that ended up leading to this getting deleted, the video, was not financially motivated. I was basically just really fed up with the YouTube system and these third-party people coming in and claiming money that wasn't theirs to take. I just wanted everybody to know that I did try to step in the beginning of the uploads of these songs. I did try to upload them. I do care about them. I do care about the views too. I do really care about the momentum everybody gave this music. It's led to me getting to do a lot of really cool things after that. And I think for the most part, everything that I just said addresses what they were trying to say and why hasn't Casey uploaded in the past and all these other things, like why go after this guy? Why didn't he just try to claim content ID, which I did. That's one thing I forgot to say. I reached out to YouTube 3 separate times and was denied.
Yeah, YouTube is just useless for things like that. Yeah, it's useless.
Yeah. So for big channels and for people like, for instance, the illegal third parties like Nextone, they get access to this stuff because they have people uploading stuff to their distribution. So they have thousands, if not millions of songs uploaded a year. YouTube sees that as, oh, they can't handle this manually. So we're going to put everything into a content ID system that handles it for them automatically. So yeah,
wow. Because
I don't have thousands of songs. I just had the 2. So they denied me 3 times in a row. Like I said, it is what it is. They denied me. I understand why, but I told them, this is a not non-significant amount of money affecting not just me, but other people who are uploading the song with fair use. And again, they just straight up denied me and explained why, because I don't have a giant catalog, et cetera, et cetera. So that was an avenue I did try to take. I did try to handle this privately and quietly in the background, and it just unfortunately ended up going public nuclear instead.
After this, we talked about Bury the Light being one of the most viewed video game songs of all time.
A fact that I can't deny the amount of momentum that Devil May Cry fans have given this song. And I can't fathom 154 million people, let alone 154 million plays, plus the 120 on Spotify, plus whatever is on Apple and we're talking about. It might even be close to 1 billion. I don't really know how many platforms are out there, not including Chinese, TikTok, and all these other things that they have. I really just don't know. And I don't want to sound unappreciative when I have to just state hard facts. So as much as I love hearing that and I love everybody's enthusiasm for this song, it's not even close.
Really? It's not?
If we're talking about just modern day, even not even looking at the past of how much has Mario been played, we'll never know. Even if I'm ignoring that, right? Something that we can't calculate. If we're looking at modern game companies like Riot Games, just the KDA albums alone do 1 billion plays per song. And I've seen the comment in the past before that that's not game music. This audio and this music is still used in game. They still rip out audio stems and use it in game. It's used as some of the sound design, and it's for characters that are in the game. It's just not like Devil May Cry is used. Every, 700 million, whatever per song they're doing, that's insane numbers. They deserve their credit. I'm still happy to say that Bury the Light's probably at least in the top 20 of all time, maybe even the top 10. I think that's still incredibly humbling. And again, it's not even really because of me. I mean, yeah, I wrote the music, but the things that fans do with that music is what elevates people's careers. Like, that's a reason why Taylor Swift has a $1 billion industry. It's not because of just her, it's because of all of her fans. Touch on everybody's comments. I don't want to, get heated or anything, or try to tell anybody they're wrong or how to feel. I just wanted to put out the facts of what happened, things that I saw that I knew were wholly untrue, to at least try to correct them and let them know what was really happening behind the scenes. I didn't just throw up my hands and all of a sudden decide one day that I just want money. I tried to get in additional information from Shadowhunter about how much money he had collected, and rightfully I can understand how he kind of just ghosted after that.
So this is where the audio becomes really, really bad, to the point where I couldn't even salvage it. But at this point, we were pretty much done anyway, and Casey had gotten to explain all of his points. I wanted to end this video by saying thanks so much to Casey for reaching out and giving us all some clarification on what happened with his music, because his songs, Bury the Light, Devil Trigger, are such a big part of Devil May Cry, just in general, and such a big part of the community. We all love these songs. If you want to support Casey Edwards' work, go check him out on Twitter. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.